Well, happy Thursday to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you a video update on KASPA today. Big question is it dead? That big ugly wick is still looming. Took a really hard hit 3 weeks ago Friday. So we're going to break it down. I don't think all hope is lost. I think there's a little upside left, but I think we've got some downside before we get there. But we'll break all that down in the charts. Stick around to the end of the video. I'll use some long-term targets, and we'll talk about that as well. But we're actually going to start off with the crypto fear and greed index, just like we do every video. Currently sitting at a 24. We've came up just a little bit out of fear, almost tapped extreme fear, but we got out of it. So what I use this for is to measure market sentiment. Excuse me. Anytime we're in fear, anytime we're in greed, this chart, that's what this chart shows us. So it shows us if people are scared, if they're euphoric, what's going on. But I also use it to make little spot purchases every time we go into fear. I'll keep buying a little spot every now and then I wait until it comes up into greed, and then I start selling it off. When we get to extreme fear, I'll buy a little more. But you can tell we're in fear. We were in extreme fear. So today, actually yesterday morning, I went ahead and bought a little bit. So what you're seeing right now is pre-recorded, so this is good, maybe a little off. But I bought about 60 bucks in Ethereum, 60 bucks in Solana. We're going to let it ride. We're going to see what happens. And as we get up into greed, we'll sell this off. But I wanted to keep up with that. I wanted to show you guys how it works. That way, if you have any questions, it'll be a better understanding. But if you need a platform to trade on, I use BitUnex. You'll find a link to that in my description. I think there's a cashback bonus on your first deposit, and I think there's some pretty good incentives for your trading fees. But we'll move on over to the altcoin season index because it's relevant to KASPA. Currently in a 24, we're in full-blown Bitcoin season. What we need to see is this move back over to these lighter blues and darker blues for these altcoins to have a chance. Something like last month where we hit a 63, or even back in November and December when we had that face melting run, we got all the way up to 87. Moving on to liquidation heat map. This is what market makers use to draw the charts. All they do is chase liquidity. They know where your liquidation points are and they don't care. They want them. That's what they're headed after. Anything above price action is a short trade. Anything below price action is a long trade. And you can see KASPA sitting right in the middle right now. Cumulatively, we've got about $181 million worth of liquidations to the short side, to the bottom side, about 220 million. So what I think they're doing is they're coming after a little bit more of this bottom side liquidity. This void has me interested. A lot of times they'll kind of stop there and work back up the other way, but the charts are really going to tell us what's going on, and we'll go ahead and break on into that. Starting off, we'll start off with the 4-hour chart, not a daily chart. It'll make more sense. It'll give us the here and now. Currently working down. You can tell we've just been in kind of this weird consolidation pattern for, almost a month. Ever since that big drop where you've got this big wick that went way, way down. And what I think is we're working down to fill out just a little more of that wick. You've got a 4-hour extension right here at around 3 cents to 2.3 cents. But it looks like there could be a bounce point somewhere around 0.3034 cents, 3.5 cents. But we'll play this by ear. The daily is going to give us a better understanding. What we need to see for upside is for us to get above this 50 simple and this 50 smooth moving average. That takes 50 of these candles, puts a fluid line on the chart, works as excellent support and resistance. What we need to do is we need to get above that, close above it, work above this 200 moving average. That takes 200 of these candles and does the same thing as the 50s. And then if we can clear that, we're looking at 9.2 cents to about 11.5 cents on the 4-hour. But the daily gives us a better understanding of where we might bottom out. You can see the daily extension here at 4.4 cents to 2.3 cents. So like I said, somewhere in this 3 cent range may be a pretty good bounce point. From there, we got to work north. We've got to get over the daily 50. That's going to sit at around 6.5 cents. If we can get up into these retracement and golden zones and consolidate and work up, your next targets are going to be 14.9 to about 18.8 cents. But you've got a lot of resistance to get up there. I think some of these altcoins hit a pretty good lick, and I'm not sure how much recovery they're going to have, but we'll keep up with this and we'll update as necessary. Looking at the weekly chart, you can tell we're below our weekly 50s by a long way, working down, filling that wick. This is kind of optimistic that we've worked up. We've kind of found a bottom here at about 4 cents. I think that's, and so we've got an opportunity here. If we can get above it and get above all the resistances we've talked about, 8.4 cents, 10.4 cents is your next target. If you can get above that, you're looking at 16.4 to about 20.5 cents, and that's probably where you're going to top out. That gives you a pretty good idea on KASPA. Not as good as I'd hoped. I do own some KASPAs, so I've kind of been keeping up with this, trying to figure out what's going on. I did pull a bunch of profit when we were up at the big highs, so not all is lost. I'm still in profit. I just gotta, we'll wait and see what happens here. But I'll kind of update you guys when this thing starts to go south and we need to get out. I'll let you guys know what I'm doing. But you'll also find all that information in the crypto school. I post charts, I post signals there. You'll find the link to that in my description, a lineup of great coaches. Don't forget to come and check those guys out. Like I said, there's a bit for Unix. There's also a link for my Twitter down there that I post random updates throughout the day. But I'm going to wrap it up. I really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and hit the like button, tap the subscribe, hit the bell notification. You'll get updates as soon as we upload a video. And leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and I really enjoy reading what you guys have to say. But once again, I'm Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you down the road.